but it's good morning time.
Hello, it is time to start the show. And I'm going to get started right after this.
Hey, good morning, faithful. Morning, Bryant. How's it going, buddy?
Good morning, David. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm hoping hoping we got us a fun day Sunday about to happen, but we'll see this afternoon, won't we?
It's against the Chiefs. You never know.
That's exactly it. That's kind of the problem. It's like I think Andy Reid is 4-0 against us. Didn't we play in 2020? I believe we played in 2020. Our down year there. But and then we played the first game of CMC's career. They showed up. We were decimated by injuries on defense, and we really held on in that game though. It was like midway through the third quarter they started to take over. And then last year folks were saying, "Oh, this ain't the same team. Chiefs ain't winning no Super Bowl. They're not that good. Oh, they're not the same team." I'm hearing the same crap this year. It's early in the season, folks. It's like you just can't count them out. You can't. Not with Mahomes. Mahomes is like Goodell's BFF. They play mini golf and stuff together. And then you got Taylor Swift, which I saw something. I'm watching the London game, folks, and I saw something. They were talking about great moments at Wimbledon. I guess that's where they're at. But and they went through the course of history. The very last thing they put up was the 2024 Taylor Swift concert. Are you kidding me?
Well, I have to say she's wonderful. I don't think anyone can really disagree. I mean, there's been moments in her career where she did this, and this. She's truly went through several different, types of music. She's influenced a whole lot of people. It could be very dangerous with her influence. It is funny that, jersey sales changed dramatically for Kansas City when she was, announced that she was a fan of the Chiefs, that she was dating one of the, players. It is interesting that they won the Super Bowl. She was there, she has sang at Levi's Stadium. So, I don't know. It's not something that, I want to dwell on. Do I want to see the camera pan up to her every time? No, but don't they kind of do stuff like that in like the Lakers game? I know it's not a football, it's a football show. It's not a basketball show, but it's a sports talk, right? And, like maybe it's just not that often, right? But there's moments in other games, like in basketball games. I know the Lakers, I think the Knicks do it. There's moments you see celebrities, they pan over to them. They're just super fans, and so is that what it is? Is now she's a super fan? She's been a fan of them for what, like 12 months or 14 months, right? Going on, so it's like, I don't know. But it is interesting. So this Kansas City team, they're what, 5-0, and we're 3-3. We could have won a couple of those games.
6-0, Bryant. They're 6-0.
No, they have a bye, didn't they?
Last week they did, but aren't they 6-0?
Well, if they had a bye, then that means they're a game less than us, right? I could be wrong.
You're right. They should be 5-0.
So
right.
We're going to give them that first loss, or they're going to. I don't think Kansas City. I don't think Andy Reid has lost coming off a bye week. I don't know if it's only with Patrick Mahomes or if that's his tenure in Kansas City. But the Chiefs are dangerous, but they're not the same team, and everybody's going to keep saying that every year too. It's the same thing with us. We're not the same 49er team that we were last year. We were supposed to be
That's exactly, every team in the NFL is not the same team. It's like, y'all need to chill with that, right? That's all I'm saying is that a lot of people said the same thing last year. The Chiefs don't look good. They ain't winning no Super Bowl. Okay, look what happened. Just shut up about that stuff already. But yeah, buddy. Yep, Steve-O, that's right. 5-0. Good morning, buddy. Good to see you. Oh, we got Jess in the house. What's going on? That's what I'm hoping happens too. I'm not counting on it though. Ooh, that's going to be a hard thing to do without Greenlaw. But good morning, Tony. How's it going? And I mean, Greenlaw was a big factor in that game. He had him on lockdown, And we got Bebop. What's cracking, buddy? Back from Pennsylvania. Chad Schrader, what's up, man? Whoa. Good morning to you too, Steve-O. I mean, I don't know. He's making up for Tommy because Tommy ain't here this morning. That's what's going on. Don Dotson, good morning. How's it going? Maybe Tommy's still asleep. If he had a gig last night, he probably still is asleep.
Yeah, the chat is popping. Thank you, everyone, for showing up.
It really is. It is. We got a bunch of morning folk in here.
So I want everybody's opinion on this. So who's going to have a better day, Travis Kelce or George Kittle? If you want to put it in you can put Travis or George if you want to participate. I think George is going to have a bigger day. So I'm going to put George.
I'm hoping George has a bigger day. Now, I was thinking about this, and I'm not the defensive coordinator or the assistant head coach over the defense. It kind of sounds like we have too many cooks in the kitchen there. But yeah, I'm not either. But why put a linebacker like Campbell, who's not going to be able to keep up with Kelce on Kelce? Why do it? I mean, D Winters has the speed to do it, but he hasn't necessarily, earned his stripes to the point where he's got the trust, and I just look at it like, do you slap Fred Warner on him all day? That kind of takes away from other areas, right? I say change things up. We got this corner who has shown some really good plays, but then gave up some really bad plays. And his name is Yadam. He's a tall, lengthy corner. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing him on Kelce because, number one, he can keep up with him. And number two, he has the length to actually defend him. I wouldn't be opposed to just saying, hey, this is your job. You do that. And then, leave Lenore at his current position, nickel outside, and then bring Bernardo Green in, who had a good showing last week, to play the outsider of the nickel, whatever. But glue Yadam to Kelce. Just glue him on there, and let's see what happens.
I don't know. Sometimes you got to play assignment football. So if they let, Fred Warner stick on Kelce, I don't think that would be such a bad idea. Because what happens with the Chiefs, or what's happened in the past at least, is they play football and nothing's happening, and then they throw it to Kelce, and it's like they're playing backyard football. Nobody's around Kelce at the end of the play, and he's wide open. So I think if you did put, Fred on him as maybe a spy or something, Fred could still do his normal thing, but Fred needs to be aware of Kelce at all times. That's the only way that I think this is going to change. I know Mahomes isn't throwing the ball deep this year. He's throwing, really, really short passes under 10 yards. So they're getting it done, but you cannot count out Travis Kelce, no matter who you put on it.
Oh, there's the captain. What's happening, buddy? Good morning. He's up in enemy territory, Seahawk country. Or I should say chicken country, because that we made it so they didn't fly last game, right?
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
Shut the door on that coop and locked it. That's what we did. But you know, it's like, so we're gonna be without Juwan Jennings, Bryant.
Yeah, my fantasy football player is going to be hurting this week.
And but we're gonna be +1 Ricky Purcell. Now I think I know better than to ask this question. But do you think he's gonna have an impact on this game?
He might. He really might. He has more speed, I think, than I don't know. I don't think they used Juwan like Debo. I think they tried that one time like last year or something. Didn't really work out that game. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Ricky was drafted so he could, be kind of like a scat back kind of situation, like one of those, pesky wide receivers. I think Juwan's more of the taller guy that they want to throw the ball deep to and in the middle. So Ricky, I don't know. At first they said he had a hard time, getting separation, at least in camp and stuff. And then recent reports this week, at least he's having good separation. So is he separating only against our defense? So only against our guys? I don't know. But he does seem like he has good hands. And, if he's ready to go, the injury that, because I think he got, shot? Shot or stat? Yeah, I think he got shot doing an autograph signing, if I'm correct. So now if he's back and he's ready to go, because it doesn't seem like we're getting Christian McCaffrey back anytime soon, does it? So we need some change. Maybe a little bit of a change up would help.
Well, the just the fact that he's a rookie, kind of puts the hurt on his chances of getting in the game there. We all know how Kyle is, but he also plays first round rookies, don't he? We've seen this in the past. We haven't had many because this trade they made a while back that we're not going to talk about. But like Ayuk got some playing time, right? I would honestly like to see him in the game, but how much practice and time with the team has he actually had? He's been injured all throughout training camp and the OTAs, and this might be I bet it's going to be like if somehow we get up big, which I doubt it's going to happen, then we'll see him in the game. This is how I'm viewing it. I'm not counting on him actually making it in to take snaps that actually matter at this point. I'm just not counting on it. I would like to see him in the game. Like when it comes to speed, Ayuk's a 4.50 40 guy. Debo is a 4.48 40 guy. Jennings somewhere around 4.6. I'm not going to say the exact number because he's better than that. But and then you got Purcell runs a 4.41, which a lot of people are like, that's not a big difference. If you line them up side by side in a race, it is a big difference. We have Cowing at 4.38, so we're starting to draft guys that are a little quicker, on the quicker side of the wide receiver. But I would honestly like to see him in the game. We're going to need a guy on third down because our third and Juwan isn't with us this game.
Is Mason out as well? Jordan Mason?
I actually haven't seen a report saying he is or isn't, so I'm gonna find out right now.
Because I believe
if he is, that's really gonna put Isaac Garando in. But at the same time, I'm not against that.
He did well. He did well last game. He did really well. But I think that's why they put him in, is because Mason got hurt. I just don't know how long Mason's injury is supposed to last. But no, I'd like to see them put Ricky in. I agree with Chad. His injury is going to slow the start of his career down. I think he was supposed to start the season. I think that was their backup plan if Ayuk wasn't going to remain with the team. But then with his injury, the unfortunate circumstances that happened with him, that definitely threw the Niners plan off a little bit. Maybe give Brandon Ayuk, some more help in his area. But yeah, Ricky, I feel like once he's out there on the field, it's going to be hard to get them to take him off the field. It's supposed to have really good hands.
Oh my goodness, they want me to watch a video on a press conference. I'm not down to do that.
Yeah, no. I believe he's injured, but I could be wrong. But Garendo should get snaps even if Jordan Mason isn't completely injured. If he does play, Garendo did well, so I would see Garendo starting to get more snaps going forward.
Mason has been cleared to resume lead back role, so
Awesome.
he will be in the game. Honestly, kind of think they should give Garindo some carries just to take it easy on Mason for this week. Let him heal up another week. But
I agree.
that's just the truth. But yeah, we're gonna be missing. We're already missing Hargrave for the rest of the season. A lot of people are like, regular season, he can be back for the playoffs. Do you want a guy that's rusty coming in for the playoffs? That's if we make the playoffs. At this point, we're only 3-3, folks. There's nothing guaranteed.
Oh, if we win
You know?
10 games, I definitely believe we'll win more than 10 games, but I believe 10 games will get us into the playoffs. Once we get in, David, there's not going to be one team that's going to want to play against us. Niners should be firing on all cylinders by then.
I hope so. And I hope health is on our side too. I'm knocking on wood here. It kind of hasn't been, Hargrave going out. Hargrave has the best game of the year so far, and then he's out. It's like, really? The guy we signed to play the role that Sam Lowe is playing is on injured reserve. I don't know when we're going to see him back. Maybe the last quarter of the season. This is Gross Matos, right? We've had to bring in some guys because like Jordan Elliott, he's got an ankle injury. I think he was listed as doubtful last time I saw, so he might not be out there today. Although Malik Collins has been our best guy on the interior anyway, right? But then that puts in Kevin Givens, who really ain't bad. He's solid. It puts in Kalia Davis, who he's not going to win any awards for having flash, folks, but he's going to do the dirty work, eat blockers, and hold his ground in the run game. And then Evan Anderson, who, when they put him in there, he shows good things. It's almost like, why isn't, why aren't we playing him? I thought I saw someone backstage for a second. I might have been hallucinating. If someone came in, you gotta, come back. But I put the link in the groups on Twitter, just in case our peoples can make it, a couple of them. But yes, Crazy Juice, what's cracking, buddy? You got Crazy Juice up in here. Now it's it's Okuano. I think is how you pronounce it. I'm gonna have to look. I had it the other day, and I was talking to Damian Lee. He's like, "No," I'm like, "Google it." Lawrence, what's cracking, buddy? Good to see you. But yeah.
So they have Jake Moody injured, and it's his ankle, but he's not going on IR. But the other kicker that they got, they put him on IR. And now we have a third kicker this season that we just signed, and he will be the kicker of the day. So why would you put our last kicker, I believe his last name was Wright, on the IR and not put Jake Moody on the IR?
Didn't they put him on IR? I thought they did. They didn't?
Not that I know of. I could be wrong, but what I read is he's not on IR. So he should be coming back, but are they putting the other kicker on IR for contract negotiation, trying to be fair to him and then give him a settlement? Or are they trying to save him in case Jake Moody isn't ready? Because when you go on IR, it's like 4 weeks guaranteed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And yes, this is I think so too. I like the guy. He plays inside outside. He's like Charles Omenihu, but a little better. And as for the pronunciation, it's Oku Anu. It's Oku Anu. That's how you say it. It's like it's right there, folks. It's right there. Oku Anu. See. I'm cheating because I don't want to hack the guy's name up. I'm horrible at pronouncing names, okay? But yeah, I don't know if Jake Moody is not on IR. That's interesting. It's like, but dude, we're going through kickers like we did quarterbacks in 2022. Oh, I said it. See, I have a bad habit of saying what I'm thinking, you know.
Oh man, we need a kicker. Well, if the Niners need a kicker, I'm easily able to be contacted, and I could be ready very quickly.
Well, one thing. Can you tackle?
I don't need to tackle. I need to stay where I'm not injured because we need to make sure I can play the next game, right?
Well, that's the thing. Our coverage team is so horrible that the kicker needs to be able to tackle.
The kicker needs to get out of the way. He's got a tackle. He's gotten hurt. Jake Moody goes for a tackle, injures his ankle. Our other kicker, right, goes. I think he goes to the right and injures his right shoulder. So yeah, we definitely don't need a kicker that wants to tackle. I mean, if we really want a kicker that wants to tackle, we should go back after Jose Cortez. Let's just go find Jose and bring him back. He could be number 6 or number 1 or what was he, number 7 as well? He had so many different jersey numbers, but we could bring back Jose and the XFL kicker and let him go out there and spearhead. That's my thoughts, David. But I really, if the Niners need me as a kicker, I'll do my best. But they shouldn't have to worry about having to tackle. We'll just kick it in the end zone every time. We'll kick it into the end zone or straight out of the end zone. It's gonna go 30-yard line every time. I mean, why even risk it, right? Why even risk it?
Yeah. Jason says, nope, can't kick first if you can't tackle.
I can tackle, but there's a business decision, right? You got to have a business decision. And why would you tackle? Kick it out of the end zone, just like I said every time. Then don't even have to worry about tackling.
Ooh. He says he thinks Sam should definitely start. It's Oku Anu. Oku Anu. That's how you pronounce that, guys. Should definitely start. Kyle can kick, can't he? He can do anything. Now, if you're trying to knock Kyle out for the rest of the season, it might be, a good way to do it.
Is he talking about Kyle Juszczyk? Because Juice can kick. They should let Juice kick.
Hey, he's saying Jose Cortez is probably available. It probably is. But David Corona. I hope so, buddy. I hope so, but I ain't counting on it. Yeah. And this is something now Mahomes. Tony brings up something that brings up a point. Mahomes has been throwing picks and turning the ball over. He has. He was doing that last year too, though, when all the people were saying, "Oh, they ain't the same team. They're not Super Bowl contenders." Okay, they won a Super Bowl. So what do you? And all y'all are saying the same thing now you were last year. So just stop it. Okay, just stop it. But yeah, she's not lying. Our defense really needs the ball hawk here. Hey, what's going on? Oh, I guess the game in London's over. I was watching it over here. Kind of, not really. The Jaguars pretty much had that. They had that handled. So, and Drake May didn't look bad, Bryant. He didn't look bad. He's, the Patriots might have something there.
Platform, he brings up a good point, a good statement. We do need to win. We got to get this W. It's kind of like the Niners versus the Cowboys thing. It was a back and forth thing for a while. Even the regular season games was really crucial. It's about dominancy. It's about, respectability. It's about saying, hey, you might have beat us here, but we got you next time. And the last couple seasons we played the Chiefs in regular games. Brock Purdy's first game time start, came against the Chiefs. Let's like you said, Christian McCaffrey, his first little bit of time, or when we got him, was against the Chiefs. It's just we lose to the Chiefs a lot, and it's been happening. And the Niners keep trading away our quarterbacks to the Chiefs, and now they don't need our quarterback because they got their own quarterback. They got a good head coach, and they got a good system, and that's really what it's all about. They have our number, and we got to get this game. We got to get this game so the Niners can get them out of their heads, because right now it seems like the Kansas City Chiefs live in a lot of 49er fans' heads and a lot of probably the players' heads. If you keep going up a team and you can't beat them, how are you going to feel when you get to the Super Bowl and you got to play them? Oh, we're going to win this time?
Yeah, that's not how it works. It's one of those. Now I've said it in a very harsh way in a few chats the last couple days, but we got to prove to them that they don't own us. And yes, the way I said it was way harsher than that. It's like, I just look at it like right now they own us. Kyle is owned by Andy Reid. Now someone brought up, oh, it's their defensive coordinator. Okay, the defensive coordinator isn't coaching on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Jason, his first start was against the Bucs, but his first playing time was against Kansas City. They put him in at the end of the game against garbage time. I think he threw a pass to, it wasn't Ricky James. It was, he threw a pass to one of the play. Yeah, I think he did throw a pass to Richie James, but he got in at the end of the game. So that was really sad game. Every time we play against the Chiefs, it's been one of those games. We gotta do it. We gotta do something different. And it's weird, it's like something about that 10-point lead too. Every time we get 10 points, I like special teams. I'm a kicker. I like kicking, and I like watching that part of the game, and I think it's interesting, but a field goal is not a touchdown. And then when you do score a touchdown, you have the opportunity to kick a point after, or you can go for two-point conversion. So you can either go up 7 points, or you can make it an 8-point lead, right? For us, we can't even kick a point after right now. Our punter, if he gets not even it. So there's definitely some stuff that we're going to have to overcome in this game. But as far as the 10-point lead, we got to learn how to, continue to stack it. I thought at first it was like Kyle being fair to his other opponents and not trying to run the points up. But he's got to realize the other team's trying to win too, and they're going to try to keep scoring points until the game's over. And you might have a roster full of 53 guys, but they don't all believe the same way. And when there's an opportunity for them to score, they're not going to just like kneel on the 1-yard line or go down really easy so that the time can run out and the game can be like 24-21. No, they want to lay it on. They want to add as many points in the game. And some people just, they don't care, because it's a game of competition. It's a game of how much, like you're supposed to score as many points as you can. So for a game, like you see like coaches like pulling back at the end of the game instead of, running up the score. I don't get it sometimes, because isn't that what the fans want to see, is like blowouts? Isn't that what they want to see, is one team score a bunch of points? When you see touchdowns and, points going up on the board, that's what you go to see, right? Some teams just aren't as good as other teams. And I think right now they're trying to keep all the teams really close in the scores. And I think the refs are a huge, huge factor in that. And it is weird. A lot of our games have been decided by 10 points, and we end up losing because of 10 points.
And yeah, I mean, we go up 10 points, and it's like, yeah, we go up 10 points, and it's like, take the foot off the gas. Why do you do that, Kyle? Why? Like, is there a point in doing that? It's like, there is no point in doing that, oh boy. You know, my streaming headset's big. Like I'm gonna show you the difference. You ready? I'm gonna show you the difference here. These are both meant for the same ear. See the difference? Yeah. This little guy right here, this little guy, that's what I normally wear. You got this humongous freaking thing on this side. But guess what? They work and they have an incredibly long battery life.
Yeah. No,
They don't fall out. They don't fall out. They got that hook, you know. It's like they're reliable, which is, you know, like Brock Purdy, they're reliable. You know?
Yeah. Tony brings up a good statement. All gas, no brakes. Don't be letting up off of these guys. Oh, so they were on your coaching staff last year, or you're friends with them, or something like that. Now, if you can put up a 40 burger on somebody, you put it up on them. You don't. I don't know. Like, I don't see a reason to stop putting up points. Maybe if you're already up 3 scores or something like that at the end of the game, and you got the ball, if there's 40 seconds or it's 2 minutes, then you run the ball. But for us, 10 points is not safe. We have to be up. I don't know what would be a safe number for you at this time, because I've seen teams come back at like 21 points on us. That seems to be the number this year. How high? What was our score against the Cardinals, and they ended up coming back on us? We were 24, and they scored 21 points or something like that, real quick on us. So well, I just think that the Niners.
Yeah, and that was all in like half a quarter.
About continue.
That was all in half a quarter, Brian. I mean, it's like the game ain't over until you see Mahomes throwing his helmet at the bench and crying to the refs. Then you know you have them at that point. Oh.
No, that's what kind of.
Go ahead.
No, that's kind of what happened in the Super Bowl. There was a moment where you could look over there and they had, Mahomes sitting on the sidelines, and he had just thrown that interception and he looked like he was defeated. And then we didn't capitalize, right? We didn't continue to go down and put up points. So there's a growing curve. Players make mistakes and stuff like that. But there is also, too, like calling the right plays. So there's a lot of things that you have to go around and say, okay, everybody has to do better. But it does seem like there's something weird. Like we can score 21 points in the first and second quarter. Or, some seasons we can go 15 minutes with the ball. The whole entire quarter is our ball. And we have possession. But then when we get up by 10 points, we end up losing the game. So you're telling me you can have the ball the first and second quarter, and the other team only has it for like a minute or 2 minutes, and we're still going to lose the game? Third quarter, it seems to be a very big problem for us. So I think if we can at least start scoring more points, even if it's a field goal in the third quarter, we got to do something. Because when we come out after half, whether it's our ball or not our ball, we're not doing anything in the third quarter. And, for us to try to start doing something in the fourth quarter, I think is just a little too late.
It's way too late to start thinking. I don't like how he comes out like halftime and runs the ball all over him in the first half. We've seen Kyle do this a few times, and then he comes out halftime going, "I'm gonna pass the ball all over the place." They're not expecting that. It doesn't matter what they're expecting. What's working is working. Why change what's working until they've made their adjustments, and now all of a sudden, okay, they're putting 8 in the box. Let's put this great position player group we have against their defensive backs and start throwing the ball. Don't just come out and go, "Oh, I'm going to start doing something totally different," and not knowing if they've made their adjustments. But it's just one of those. I would love to see Kyle just keep his foot on the gas, until the thick lady is singing at the end. That's it. Keep your foot on the gas until that thick lady's singing,
Yeah. There's gotta be something that's happening, because I know, moments happen, and not every game is there a big pass and the defense lets up, but you can't blame that all on the defense either. The defense, holds up through the whole game and then at one moment, has one bad play. But offense, there's definitely been a change. And, like you said, you're running the ball, you're supposed to run the ball, set up to play action pass. And then you come out in the third quarter. All that was working in the first and second quarter. You come out in the third quarter and you start throwing the ball around, but we're not getting points. We're not getting points in the third quarter, and this has been for years. It's not just with Brock Purdy. This is what was happening with Jimmy Garoppolo too. This is what was happening since Kyle's been here. So I don't know. I got the number 3 jersey, and I don't think that's jinxing us, David. That's just my number. But I haven't wore it for a while. Maybe I should put it on today's game. I don't know. I was thinking about wearing the Kittle jersey, or at least putting it in the living room so, like when he does do something, I could point at it and be like, yeah, good job, Kittle. I don't like wearing the team jerseys on game day, because sometimes, a player's not so hot and you don't want to be like, man, was that me? So I've stayed away from all the black cats I can this week. I've stayed away from, anything like that, so I'm looking forward to this game. I really am. I think, again, George is going to have a bigger game than Kelsey. I think if we can shut down Kelsey, if that's possible, we're going to be looking okay. Putting pressure on Mahomes, that's how are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? Is it Bosa going to get a game today? Bosa gets up there and makes pressure, but he always seems to be like a second too late from getting that hit. And when he does get the hit, there's a flag usually, right?
Well, when Bosa, it seems like last game he was up in the quarterback's face.
Yeah.
All game long he was just there. And Gino, he was in Gino's head, but he never actually got a sack.
Yeah,
it's all pressures.
Yeah, 15 or something like that.
I mean, yeah, he had an insane amount of pressures. Steve-O actually brought up a point that pressures isn't a official stat. But, it's like, maybe we should write PFF and let them know that so they stop tracking it. It's like, just.
I'm not going to put a Patrick Mahomes jersey on. I'm not going to do that. Stop that, Steve-O. Kermit the Frog.
Now, if I put a jersey on, it's not a current player jersey. I'm sure y'all can see that, the Montana jersey hanging there in the background. That is not an illusion. That is an actual jersey, folks.
Yeah.
I have a Frank Gore jersey in the closet too. So I don't own any current player jerseys. So I'm not afraid to put a jersey on.
No.
But this is just one of those games that we got to get the W just for our own psyche, our own good. We got to know for a fact we can beat these guys, is what I'm saying.
If we don't win, David, what happens? Does somebody get fired?
I think it'll drastically hurt us. And to make a point, I don't think Kyle's ever fired anyone in the middle of the season. Right? He's in year 7, I think, right now. I don't think he's fired anyone in the middle of the season. Demoted, fired. He made a guy come down from the booth to the sideline, but that's the worst thing we've seen him do,
Well, do you think he would do the reversal in this case? Like maybe put somebody in the
booth? This could happen. He could be like, get up in the booth. You can't see what's going on.
No.
Well, I don't know. I mean, when it comes to our defense, they haven't been playing up to what they've done in years past, but it's only week 7. I do expect them to get their stuff together about now. And I don't know, like, how many bosses can you have? You have the defensive. You see, I worked for a place that had like 14 people and 6 bosses. That's too many. That's too many. All right. So, and right now the defense, typically you got the defensive coordinator and the head coach. But right now you got the defensive coordinator, the assistant head coach over the defense, and the head coach. That's I think that's too much. I think we should stick with the head coach and the defensive coordinator and tell Brandon Staley, buddy, we're not going to fire you. you're actually getting a promotion. You're going to be the boombox guy for the rest of the year.
Well, would you say it kind of goes? Well, would you agree? You have an owner. He picks out a general manager. General manager picks out a head coach. Maybe in this case, it's a little bit backwards. Our head coach picked out our general manager. But then you got those
Exactly
two.
what happened.
You got those two in place, right? But typically, the general manager is the one in charge. Maybe that's our problem here. Is Kyle's the one in charge? They're not working hand in hand. It's not a 50% partnership. I think it might be 40-60. But so, anyways, but when you have a general manager in charge, most of the time you have an offensive coordinator. And I think right now that's our problem. Is Kyle's the head coach and the offensive coordinator? I really do. I think he can be both, but I think he needs somebody at the majority, at 100% of the time, being the offensive coordinator. And when Kyle wants to say, we're going to do this, or maybe we're going to start the game out like this and come up with the game plan, and then let the offensive coordinator start calling plays, maybe in that crucial quarter that we have, that third quarter, that we seem to have like no scripted plays, or something happens in the third quarter. If we're not making adjustments, or we're deciding to do something's happening in the third quarter. So
the scripted plays start at the beginning of the game, and I think there's enough of them to last up into the second quarter at some point.
Yeah. It's like
but from what I've seen watching replays, it's not the same script every game, which is good. That makes us less predictable. But at the same time, it's like, that's just for the offense. The defense just has to play what's, what is the offense doing? That's their play. That's their script. Whatever the offense is doing.
But that kind of goes into a little bit of a weird story there too, because this year we have how many defensive coordinators? You have a head coach that got released by the Chargers, and whether or not we wanted him as fans, wanted him as defensive coach, they bring him in and they don't hire him as a defensive coach. They kind of hire him as a
assistant head coach over the defense.
What?
Hey, Brant, you remember when we hired him? What did I say? What's this guy gonna do?
What's he
gonna do here?
So you elevated, or you move somebody up to be the defensive coordinator, but he doesn't have the experience. But the fans like that. But this guy over here has more experience, but the fans don't like that. What does it matter what the fans like or not, right? I thought the fans just wanted to win. I didn't know we had to like the head coach and all this. Like at the end of the day, we just want to win, right? Yes.
At the end of the day, we just want to win. John Jay, what's cracking, buddy? Thanks for pulling up. Your wife says Niners have been softened, but I think the defense just needs to coach themselves. Warner leading the way. I 100% see your point. Oh, we got a wolf sighting. What's cracking, buddy? How's it going? Niners versus Chiefs game day, buddy. Here we go. It's time to show them that we ain't their we ain't owned by them. I'm gonna say it the nicest way I can, but I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking there. Oh, there we go. There's Tommy saying good morning. What's good? Good morning, buddy. Must be dragging out of bed there. But yeah, see, you're drinking out your 49er cup. I'm drinking out of mine that Tony made for me a long time ago, my David McNiner cup. I love this thing. I will always take great care of it. It will be with me forever.
I'm drinking out of my Tony cup with Corey Davis and Bryant.
Ooh, oh, look, it's got my face on it. Uh-oh.
Tony surprised that one day, and I was like, oh, that's a cool cup. So yeah, doing the morning show, I like to pull that out. So I would like everybody who's here in the chat, throw your prediction in the chat if you'd like to do that. What do you think the Niner Chiefs outcome is? 49ers or Chiefs? If you want to put your score prediction down in the chat, that'd be awesome. I think the Niners are winning. I think the Niners are going to win 33-24. That's my prediction.
I'm not putting us. All right, you want a prediction? I'm going to go 17-15 Niners.
Okay.
I seriously don't think I'm even going to be close, but you never know, right? You don't know what's going to happen until the game starts and gets going. But yeah, I'm watching the pregame show. Why are they showing highlights of a QB that ain't even on a team anymore? Like, that's not. Anyway, so they got to show something for the pregame, right?
The one thing about the Chiefs, they got a good kicker. They got a really good kicker.
They do have a good kicker. You're not lying. He's hit a lot of field goals this year.
Yeah, I think he can keep them in the game. He can definitely keep them in the game because they get up to the 50-yard line. He's good. It's like he's good.
Oh, I just saw the news. Ricky Purcell he's in the building. He walked in. I don't know how he's dressed yet. I haven't looked at the pictures or anything like that. Don't know if he's just showed up in a set of swim trunks and a tank top, or if he's all dressed up in a suit. We'll see. Man, seriously, I think missing Juwan Jennings, that's a bigger loss than a lot of people think. He's a dirty work guy. He gets in there, he'll block a dude, he'll make a defensive back mad. This is something that happens every game, folks. Every game. He's always pissing someone off on the other team. And then he makes the big third down catches. He's that big red zone target too, being I think he's 6'3", 6'4", somewhere around there. He's that bigger red zone target. So yeah, he's more of a loss than people think, and I mean, it's going to be nice to see Purcell in a jersey, but I still don't think. I think he plays 4, maybe 5 snaps all night.
Oh boy, I give him more than that. I really do. I mean, they're not used. Debo, they barely used last game. He did get a touchdown. That was neat. Ayuk's went invisible again. I don't know where that guy's been. Like, there's, like you said it. Juwan's our red zone guy now, right? Or our third and Juwan. They're using Juwan more and more. Kittle, he's come back, so he's now a little bit more of a factor in the red zone, and he's a little bit more of a factor in the game because earlier he was dealing with injury. He wasn't. So again, it's like, Debo and you have Ayuk, and we don't seem to utilize them, and we're going to these other players. So something sooner or later, something's got to happen. I like you said, these guys are bigger red zone targets, so I expect George to get some targets because he's a bigger guy.
Okay, so Steve-O has 30-28. Wolf says not Niners 27-20. I'm thinking it's going to be a close game myself, either way. Dawn says 35-24. And all this equals me knocking on some wood because we all got us winning there. So I'm knocking on some wood here. Whoa. Steve-O says a little something says that Tom Brady is really liking Patrick Mahomes, is what Steve-O is actually saying there, folks. Wow. But first games I got available. I have the Texans at the Packers, Bryant. This is what I have. And I have the Lions at the Vikings. Those are the games I currently have available. Which one would you watch if you had the chance? Or would you switch between both? I might just do that.
I would switch between both. I like watching, the Packers. I have a lot of uncles that are Packer fans, so I like to keep up with what's going on with them. And then, Josue, he's a Packer fan, so I like to keep on, with what's going on. Aaron, he's a Packer fan, so I got a couple of good buddies that are Packer fans. Coworker at work, he's a Packer fan. It was weird, going to school. And in California, as many Packer fans as it seems like maybe that just happens with a team when they win the Super Bowl. Because now again in California, I'm seeing all these Kansas City Chief flags and everywhere, and you're like, really, really, So I don't know. I'd probably watch the Packer game. That one seems like it'd be fun. The Texans at Green Bay, right? That one. Texans should play a little different in Green Bay. It's getting colder, so I don't know. We'll see if it turns out to be the season of love, right? Jordan Love can do something different. And he's been up and down a little bit, huh?
Jordan Love has been. This is his second full season as a starter. His first full season, he was up and down till about mid-season. Then they got their running back, and all of a sudden they took off. Now they've changed running backs since, but Josh Jacobs he's a good running back.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, either way, he got paid. He got paid the superstar QB money this last offseason. And so did Trevor Lawrence and a whole bunch of other guys. Dak makes 60 with his 2 playoff wins. He makes 60. So, all that being said, what does that make Brock Purdy worth, buddy?
See, I don't like it. Maybe I just have a problem with how much the players actually get paid. And that's fine. I'm not if I wanted to make that much money, I should have went down that career path, right? But for me, it's hard to see, and I don't think it's fair either to have a salary cap and then, it's like maybe they should have tiers, like players, like, oh, I'm a quarterback, so I have the potential to make this much money, depending on, if the team wants to keep me or whatever. I don't know. I just think it should be done a little differently than they do now. So, but how much is Brock Purdy worth? He's a pretty good quarterback. I'd like to see him win a Super Bowl. Then I could feel better about paying him a lot of money. But if he gets to the championship again, third championship game, kind of have to give him that check, I think. Or at least give him more than what he's getting now, right? Right now what he's getting is really sad. It's not sad, but compared to other people's checks or contracts.
He's got all those endorsements too. I'm sure he's doing pretty good for himself. But so Hassan Riddick signed with the Jets.
Yeah.
And now Tommy's saying Jets to the Super Bowl. This is Bryant's prediction, folks.
Yep.
And Jason has a varying, opinion of that.
They got rid of the defensive coordinator head coach, so I don't understand why they're. I don't know, David. We'll see.
Oh, could we have the first $1 billion man?
Oh boy. I don't know if you could really pay him that though. I don't know, David. Tom Brady could throw the ball deep. Tom Brady could do a little bit more, so I could see, giving somebody like Tom Brady the money, right?
Tom Brady's making more money just having a mic in his hand talking about the game than he did actually playing it.
Because he did what? He took pay cuts to keep teams together. Yes. And then when he moved to Tampa, he got paid at Tampa, but then he still took players there to Tampa to build a Super Bowl team. So I don't know. I mean, do you think Brock Purdy should make more money than Kirk Cousins?
You see, I honestly think Brock Purdy's going to be 60 to 70 million a season, buddy. I think he's going to make more than any of the QBs currently are making. They're all in the 50 to 60 range. Well, if you go all the way down to Daniel Jones or maybe even Geno Smith, 35 to 60 million, right? But I mean, Brock Purdy has won some playoff games, and all these people that have constantly been saying, "Look at the team around him. The team's so good. Of course he's going to be good." Okay, if the team around him was making him better, then why wasn't James Richard Garoppolo so good? Why wasn't he that good?
But Jimmy was that good.
He was okay.
Jimmy was
You
that good.
know,
When we first got Jimmy, before he got injured, he played backyard football. Then when Kyle made him learn his playbook, that slowed him down a little bit. That made everything get just a little bit different. When you seen him come back and he ran the Kyle offense, that's when we had those 15-minute plays. That's when we had that. But is it because of Jimmy's injury that we deviated from Kyle's? No, we were winning. It was all Kyle's playbooks and style. So at a certain point, yeah, when we needed to throw the ball deep, he overthrew Emmanuel Sanders and Samuel and the Sanders in the Super Bowl. He had the distance, he just overthrew him, right? There were some bad plays in that Super Bowl, but yeah, if we would have won the Super Bowl, it wouldn't have been because of Jimmy, no, but it would have been because Jimmy played well in the offense. So, like, if you take Brock Purdy out of the offense and you put somebody like Kirk Cousins in the offense, is Kirk Cousins going to have better numbers, or is he just going to be more is he going to have better stats? Is he going to have better yards? It's kind of hard to know. If Kyle looks at a quarterback and says, this is going to be my offense, and builds his offense around that quarterback's talents, that's what we was looking at with Sam Darnold is, we can throw the ball further down the field. So I don't know. It's like if you take a quarterback out of one situation and you put him in a different situation, are they going to have the same results? Maybe. I like what Steve-O said, like $45 million. You got to give him a respectable offer. You got to give him a good contract, but you do have to look at him and say, maybe your talent level isn't where, you're not Dan Marino, dude. You might like Dan Marino. You might wear the same number as Dan Marino, but you don't have Dan Marino's arm, right? You can't just, throw 75 yards down the football field, but you can throw it to somebody who can get it 75 yards down the football field. Maybe you have the mentality and the brain to do that. But to justify paying him, that much money, you would have to see him really overcome some games, right? You'd have to see him pull some, and keep those 10-point leads, right? It's not just Kyle's fault that we're blowing 10-point leads. The quarterback has to throw the ball to the right player. The quarterback has to keep converting first downs. And I don't know, let's see Brock Purdy win a Super Bowl before we give him a big contract.
That's true. Well, the whole time we had James, I said, we just need to step up from this guy. We need like a quarterback that's just a tier up from him, and Brock Purdy comes in and he's not afraid to throw to the sideline. When arm strength, he does have a little stronger arm than James.
Yeah.
And then he also brings the scrambling factor. He's got some wheels. Brock Purdy's got some wheels. So he might be two steps up from James, right?
Jimmy got that injury and he stopped running around. He tore his knee up and he stopped running around. And that made him probably lose arm strength too, because he didn't drive the ball like he used to. So Brock Purdy younger and more energetic, more mobile, and he's making better decisions mentally. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with Brock Purdy.
Ooh, I like what your wife says. Purdy plays like he's inspired by men like Steve Young. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And James, I just don't think he was into it because, like, the offseason he would ghost the team.
Yeah. After he got paid, right after he got paid, he ghosted the team, and it was like, okay, he might have one or two friends, and I don't know if George was really as much of his friend as he was maybe making fun of him. Some of those press conferences with the shirts and stuff like that, and the memes, and but they were friends, obviously. But again, like when you and me stop streaming, we still talk in the background. We still talk. Mm-hmm. It might not be every day, but we talk when we get a chance to. We still message each other. But to be on a team and then to stop talking to your wide receiver or your number one target for 5 months. And then, like some quarterbacks and wide receivers or, some players come together in the offseason and hang out at each other's house and, train together. That's not Jimmy. Jimmy didn't reach out to veteran players and ask them for advice. Jimmy played behind Tampa Bay, Tom Brady. I say Tampa Bay. Tom Brady and, won a Super Bowl on the bench. So I don't believe he really after I guess going to the Super Bowl and seeing how it's done, maybe you don't feel like you need to ask other people advice. Maybe you think you've seen it done and you know how to do it, but it didn't happen for Jimmy. And this is 3 Super Bowls now, David. We got to get a Super Bowl one.
That's true. That's true. We do. We got to get that. Got to get that Super Bowl ring. That's the monkey that is currently on Kyle's back right now, and the monkey's growing right now. It's a chimpanzee. It's growing. It's like baboon style right now. If you don't win it this year, it's straight going silverback ape. That monkey's just going to get big. So we just got to see how everything pans out and see how the rest of the season goes, folks. But games are about to start, Brian. You have any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
One game at a time. Thanks for having me on as always. And go Niners. And yeah, let's go. Let's get this W. Believe in the team and stay positive. It can happen.
Brian, it's always good having you, buddy. I know it's rare right now. Sometime in the future, maybe that'll change, right?
Yep.
Who knows when, folks? Who knows when? Stay tuned to find out.
But I'll be around.
It's always go Niners, and as Corey Davis to say, F all 31 other teams. That's right. Got to beat those Chiefs.